Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and today I'm in a rather unusual place. It's Digbeth in Birmingham. I'm just passing through, I'm near to the coach station here in Digbeth, built in 1907 as part of the Midland Red, and I think there was a new building sprung up in this place in, 2007, and it opened, the new coach station opened in 2009. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a walk down Floodgate Street, which is near to the old Birds Custard Factory. I'm going to have a look in the custard factory, see what's going on in there these days. Of course, they don't make custard in there anymore, and they haven't done since 1964, and when the Birds Custard Factory moved to a place called Banbury. But it's all been repurposed now, and I'm going to see what's actually inside there. And so without further ado, let's go and have a look and see what we can see around Floodgate Street and the old Bird Custard Factory here in Digbeth. Now this is Floodgate Street. This is the site of the custard factory. You can see ahead with the chimney. And just on the corner of Floodgate Street, we've got this mural here dedicated to John F. Kennedy, who was the President of the United States in 1960 to 63. That used to be near the cathedral, St. Chad's Cathedral, in the middle of the town. And when they redeveloped all that area, they placed the mural here on the corner of Floodgate Street. Now this is a rather large creative hub now, is this area. I don't know too much about it, except, as I said, I'm passing through Birmingham today. I thought I'd just have a look at this area. The custard factory, I think it was built, well, it was the inventor of egg-free custard powder. Albert Bird, I think his name, was it Albert or Alfred Bird? And he invented this egg-free custard powder in the 1830s, because his wife was allergic to eggs. Just here we've got this rather large red brick and terracotta building. It's the school. It was built in 1891. And now it forms part of this college, the Southern City College of Birmingham. And the factory here to my right was built in 1906. It was his son who expanded the Birds Custard empire by creating this 15-acre site here. You can see the factory site, and here we've got an entrance called Alfred Works just here. There's like a footbridge there that crosses the river, I think it's the River Ray. And it will take you into the building. As I said, it moved to Banbury in 1964. That was its closure. And at one time, Birds Factory, well, for the factories of birds, they were employing up to 12,000 employees throughout Birmingham. I think this is Moore's Row. That leads into Milk Street. Milk Street was the site of peaky blinder gangs used to operate in late Victorian times around these parts, with the Mill Street gangs and one or two other gangs that used to operate around here. An area of high poverty, with lots of back-to-back houses that would run up to the top end of Milk Street. After 64, the company of Birds started to deteriorate, went into a state of dereliction. And over the years, I think it was in the 90s when they began to revitalise this old factory and regenerate the area to be a large creative hub. We'll take a look in there if we can in a bit, just to show you what's inside. I want to show you this building here as well, this factory over this side. This was the site of W.G. Wild Limited. But the company itself came into being in 1919. And I think there's 4 different works along here. I'm not sure if this is works number 1, and there'd have been works number 2 there. In between there'd have been a leather factory, and you can see the large railway viaduct. This is another part of Wilds. Now W.J. Wilds Limited closed late 90s. So it wasn't in operation for that long, but in its time, Wilds were the world's number 1 for manufacturing washers. And they was making 1 million washers a year or something like that. Now Wilds has been repurposed as a kind of an indoor market area now. You can see there's a footbridge there. It'll take you towards Digbeth Street, which runs right through the centre of the old Birds factory. And this will probably be works number 3 of Wilds. So the top end factory there, that's been repurposed into a kind of market, but I'm not sure what these are. This building across the road from Wilds has got Ashton Engineering, or it did have. The signs of all the letters have kind of dropped off. But that was the site of an old bedstead making company. I think it was called Hewell's. Now here we've got quite an old pub. It's around the 1800s when it was built. It's had a few names over the years. It stands on the corner of Little Ann Street, and it's still got the original tiling, I believe, inside, but as it's closed, can't go in. But it's currently called the Ruin. It was before that. It was, I think, it was the White Swan. It's had 1 or 2 names. This one here, again, I think this may have been Wilds again, this building. But this was a prank, I believe, that signage there, Birmingham Screwdriver Company. When I say it's a prank, it was just a kind of a graffiti type sign up there. It was never a screwdriver company, but it certainly was. I think it was Wilds anyway. Now just off Floodgate Street, opposite Little Ann Street, you got this wall just here, and below the wall is the culverted part of the River Ray. All of it is culverted now to run underground, but at one time it never used to be. The River Ray was quite visible, but they culverted the whole of the of River Ray, so it mostly travels underground under the city centre now. But this used to be the site also of floodgates, and the floodgates were set up here to monitor the height of the River Ray, because it was known to flood the area, and so floodgates were built. So that's where we got Floodgate Street from. The area was particularly famed for tin makers and tin making and brass making foundries, screws, nails, bolts. I think there was a screw making factory down there on the left. Maybe it was there on the left. But if you know, let us know in the comments of the factories that you remember along Floodgate Street, near the Birds factory, Birds Custard Factory. To the left, you can see that road going up Floodgate Street. That's called River Street. Well, we know why, don't we? It's the River Ray. Yeah, so on the right you can see, if you can just make out there, gabled tops of a factory. That was a screw factory, and beyond there was also a rolling mills, the City Rolling Mill factory. If you know the names, as I said, let us know. The factory on the corner here was once a tin and copper handle factory, and further down on the left would have been the forward works where they'd make gears, and Victoria Works next to that, and right on the corner was another engineering works. So much industry around here, but they don't manufacture anything anymore. Building here was once another factory, or there was just a brass foundry. Quickly have a look here to the left. As we come into the end of Floodgate Street was still the screw factory, all along this there to the end, and at the end of Floodgate Street is Paisley Street, with where we can see in the distance something called the Teamworks laser tag. That was once the Crown Metalworks, and if we just pan across, you can see somebody's painted a mural of Birds Custard powder on the side of this building here. Just over the other side of, you can see another part of W.J. Wild Limited, repurposed to something called Love Life. Now this is the footbridge that crosses the River Ray. And ahead you can see the signage as we go under the railway viaduct, the Custard Factory. The corner of Heath Mill Street and the High Street, you can see this very old building here, the Old Crown. It's dated the 1368. You can see this timber frame structure. Looks like it's kind of leaning a bit to the left there. It's quite a large building, isn't it? This is Gibbs Street. Now this is the road that sort of kind of goes between the two sides of the custard factory. We got a plaque here that says Alfred Bird, 1811 to 1878, chemist and druggist, inventor of the eggless custard powder, and it was made on this site until 1963. Inside this part of the building here, there's a kind of a market or something in here. We're going to have a quick look inside and see what there is, what they've got in here. Now we're going to go through a few stalls and see what they've got on offer. And these are and this is knitting, old jewellery.
They are 25 pounds.
£34.99. Just thought I'd look at some other prices. And this is, I don't know what was it? Cake. I think it's Arabella's Bakes. This one's selling some crochet stuff. And oh, what are these? It's like canvas prints. What the? I don't know what this is. This one's called Tinky, natural deodorant Tinky. Perhaps they should go on Dragon's Den.
I know.
A tattooed lady. So many tattooed ladies.
Yeah, I just read about it. What, like meringue or
Looks as though he's on safari.
There you go. No, don't worry.
Oh dear, dear, dear.
He's got something for joints now.
Sorry about that.
I'll probably get a bruise there.
Sorry about
It tastes amazing, actually. I've just tried the coffee one. Incredible.
Oh. And yes. This is Gibbs Street now. We've come out of the market, and this is Gibbs Street. And you can see, you'll be able to see here where I think these are probably the offices that were once part of the Birds Custard Factory. You can see all these rather unusual suspended balconies. And the windows themselves, I think they're described as crittle windows, where the stainless steel framing of the glass windows. And here is like a seating area in the centre of the factory, of the old factory. There's you can see there's like little kind of shops along the perimeter of this area, such as the print yard and something called canteen here where they sell drinks, and there's there's a kitchen there, and laser removal ahead. And there's a sort of a street food place here, Baked in Brick it's called. Now in Gibbs Street here we've got the entrance here to the courtyard. That's the custard factory. Chimney in the distance. All these stainless steel windows that surround the courtyard. Just ahead there we've got the Mockingbird Cinema, bar and cafe. I think they show very obscure films in there. There's a board game cafe. And there's a food hall ahead. We're going to have a quick look in there and see what sort of food they're dishing up inside. So this is the food hall. Greet you with a bar to the left. The drinks area just there. Some fuku, Pan-Asian food. Very busy. Most things here are around £15. Malaysian. What on earth is this here? What's one of them? A custard bun. Caribbean kitchen. What I do find surprising about Floodgate Street in particular is all those old industries that used to manufacture all around there, and now it's all given over to the creative arts, if you like. All the factories look as though they're all still standing, but no manufacturing there now. But at least they've all been given, well, a lot of them have been given a new lease of life, which is good to see actually. I'm just here on the old High Street, and behind me, behind the High Street used to be rows and rows of factories like brassworks and foundries and steel firms and engineering companies, but I think they've all been most of them all been bulldozed now. And I look around me now, around near the Custard Factory, all loads of apartments springing up all over the place. But that's the way of the world now, isn't it? All these apartments. But anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. And if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos. I'll see you on the next one.